All right. Hey, welcome to the Sunday School Express. We're talking about how to upgrade your Sunday school. And welcome aboard. Welcome to Reach Keep. Glad that you are here. We spend a lot of time talking to Sunday school teachers about how they can be better Sunday school teacher. And this is just for you, teacher. If you are a Sunday school superintendent, this might be helpful for you. You could get this down to your people. If you're a pastor, you could kind of some of this downstream to your folks. But for the most part, we're speaking directly to Sunday school teachers here on this particular YouTube channel today. So anyway, welcome. My name is Mike. I am the former pastor or the founding pastor at Sinclair Baptist Church out in the central sagebrush of Wyoming, where it snows a lot right now. And anyway, we're glad to have you on board. And we are a ministry. Reach Keep is a ministry that is helping create flourishing churches, help you reach the people that you need to reach in your particular community. So that's what we're here, and that's what we're all about. And glad to be able to help you. So today we're talking about upgrading, and it is always time to kind of move and step things up. And it might have been a while since you have upgraded in some ways in your Sunday school. And I'm not necessarily talking about like painting your classroom or things like that. I will give you some practical things though that have to do with your furniture and some tips along that line. But I'm talking about kind of just making sure that you are notching things up. You know, a lot of people change in the world, and lots of times change is bad. All right, change, we deviate, doctrinally, we can deviate morally, but folks, there's some change that's good, and that's change that goes up. Okay, that gets better. And you need not be afraid of change and rearranging and doing things a little bit different. Again, if it's not a doctrinal and moral deviation, methodologies come and go all the time in society. I don't know if they use flannel graphs, 2,000 years ago or not. They probably used object lessons, though. In fact, I know Jesus did. They didn't use whiteboards because they didn't have it, but I've got a whiteboard here and I love it. And there's a lot of great things that you can do. So let me grab my notes and we'll just jump right into this. The idea here, again, is for a teacher. These are some practical things, and these are for some of my Sunday school teachers at my church. I do a lot of this for, and so we'll share this, please, if you would, and hit the share button or hit the like button for sure. I think there's a little thumbs up button. You can hit that. Let's talk first of all about like your tables and chairs and your seating arrangements. By the way, change with kids is good and comfortable. It kind of keeps them going. So there are some things that you need to do. I remember when I was working as a youth guy at a church. I worked at this one church quite a few times, and they had pews for the little kids to sit in during the junior church thing that I would teach. And one of the pews was the back of it was broken off, and there's this sharp piece of wood sticking up that someday someone was going to get skewered on. And I thought, my word, we need to get someone in here that owns that church and had the ability to do it. And I mentioned it to a couple people, and eventually it got fixed. But what I'd like for you to do is kind of go and take a look at your seating arrangement and your tables and some of that, and see if there's some things that you can do that are different. By the way, every Sunday you can change things up. You can do it for a while. You can teach a certain way, like in chairs for a while, or you can have them sit on carpet circles for a while. There's a lot of different things. We've done the carpet squares you get from the carpet store, and every kid has his own square, and they sit on the little squares. Works really good. And you could have the carpet squares just for like story time, and the rest of the time they're over here in chairs. It depends on the size of your room and some of that, but moving kids around and changing things is worth doing. So take a look at that and see if you have some chairs in there. I remember a lot of churches kind of get hand-me-down stuff, and many times you have chairs that have the one little stopper's missing, so the chair is constantly rocking and it kind of clicks and makes noises, and or it's falling apart. Maybe you need to do some upgrading. Maybe you need to find something better, a little bit more comfortable for the kids. And again, don't be afraid to do the sit on the floor, sit on the beanbag chair for a portion of things. You could do a puppet time, and everyone goes and sits on the floor while you do some puppets along that line. Bringing into that same topic is the idea of your tables. If you have younger kids, many times they're coloring on tables, and a lot of tables that we use in this day and age are these new white plastic ones, which are very nice for moving, but they do not make a real good coloring surface. And I have seen different solutions for that. One is just these little cutting board, kind of clear plastic things that you can get at the dollar store for when you're slicing your tomatoes and stuff. And every kid gets one of those, and they use that for coloring. I've also seen little pieces of masonite about yay big, kind of a hard fluorine type of a product they're wood, but they're lightweight, and you bring those out when they color, and they can color on those, and they can color much better. So it might be time for some upgrades. And believe me, if you upgrade that, people notice that. Parents notice that. Children notice that. Your other teachers notice it. And it just starts to move the notches up. Folks, we need to be working on going up and not down. And a lot of churches, things break and they fall apart, and there's only one marker that works, and there's no chalk, and you're still using an old chalkboard, that kind of stuff. A lot of different things can change there. Put it this way, you can make change for the better in that area. So think about the table and chair situation and walk through. And by the way, I give you the secret so much to the idea of changing and getting better with your Sunday school teaching is when you go in on a non-Sunday. In other words, on Sunday, you're busy, you're teaching, you're ready to go. Kids are walking in the door. You just finished. You got to get to the service yourself, all that kind of stuff. Go in on a Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday night. Go in on some off time. Walk into your room and go, let's take a look at this, which really brings me kind of to the second topic here is the idea of your displays or like whiteboards. And if you can upgrade in that and get a little bit better, it really works. Let me give you a couple things to do. Number one is your whiteboard. If it's been around for a long time, it might be just time to talk to someone on the budget committee or however it works, or put your own money into it and buy a new whiteboard that has a better surface to it. Some of them, after they've been erased so many times, they have totally lost their soul, and they don't erase completely, and you can't see it. And so it may be time for a new whiteboard. I have a whiteboard that I use. It's magnetic, and it's got the metal behind it, and so you can put magnets on, and that adds a whole new dynamic to teaching. One of the things that you can do is you can put a piece of paper over an answer, put a magnet on it, and then just pull it away and reveal your answer. So maybe you can upgrade to that. Your markers need to be upgraded. You might need to get, in fact, I've got a whole, hang on here. I'll show you. I practice what I preach around here. Okay. All right. Look at this, man. How about that? Colored markers. I got one of every color in the rainbow here. The other day, it's like I was down to like a red one and a green one that worked. And I need some more markers. And so I just went on Amazon, found this, and I've got it now. When I do some decoration ahead of time on a whiteboard, you can come in ahead of time on your off day, on your Saturday, and set things up and put those markers on there. You can also get wide tip markers, and I appreciate that. So I want to say hi. We have got Amy Stokes on here. Good to see you, Amy. I'm going to be at church tomorrow too. I'm going to get a chance to be at my home church for a change. I've been on the road doing a lot of teaching and training, and I love teaching and training, but boy, sometimes it's good to come home. So anyway, wide tip markers work better for a variety of things. You can put, again, like your memory verses and some of that, you can pre-decorate a whiteboard as well, and that's a good thing to do during an off day. So you would come in and say you're drawing something like the temple. We'll say the temple. You would come in ahead of time, and you would never have time during the class to draw some of that. But you could come in ahead of time and pre-draw some things, and then you could teach using the whiteboard. Another thing with your whiteboard that I find is helpful, at least in my classes and the way that I like teach Sunday school, is I would make sure that my whiteboard is low enough direction wise that I can have children come up and write things on the board. So if I want them to go up and to draw something that we've talked about, put it on the board, that gives that option. I've had kids stand on a chair before and draw things, and I'm just obviously not comfortable. It's a little bit thing. So dangerous there, but if you can lower your whiteboard. So these are some areas of upgrading. And if you're still using old chalkboards, there are some neat things you can do with chalk that you cannot do, the different colored chalks, and you can run your fingers across it and make great illustrations there. But anyway, make sure that you are working on notching up with your presentation stuff there, which moves me to another thing that hangs on the wall, and this would be your decorations and making sure that your decorations are upgraded. Many people decorate seasonally. They decorate their door to their room. They decorate a bulletin board that is in the room. They hang some, pictures and quarterlies, and some curriculum comes with things to hang, which is great. One of the things that I prefer is when we take the old stuff down. You don't have like stuff from 5 years ago up there. There's a reasonable amount of time that you can keep things up, especially if you're teaching and reviewing, putting things up there. We in our classrooms have some core values that we kind of go back to all the time. I can trust God no matter what, and I need to make the wise choice, and I need to treat people the way I want to be treated. Those are all come from Luke 2:52, and we have those painted on some nice boards, and we have those in all of our classrooms, and the teachers can always point to that, and almost every lesson goes back to one of those principles there. So think about upgrading and just like some generic decorations that are there. Our particular classrooms, a couple of them, the bigger one that we have, we call it Wisdom Workshop. And so over the door, we put a bunch of workshop-y kind of things like some, tape measures and, framing squares and things. And they're kind of permanently mounted on this shelf over the door. It looks like a workshop, a carpenter's workshop, and some clamps and stuff. It's sort of a neat way to theme your room. So we have the Wisdom Workshop for that. So think about upgrading some of those things. Of course, you can do seasonal things and all that. You can also make sure that you have, as I mentioned in my notes here, remove clutter, but make sure that you, if you have some props and you're going to tie those props in over the next few weeks, you can put those props and have those on display. So if you are using the tree branch that's separated and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, or, the John 15 about the branch that's been severed from the vine. You could keep that over there and then reference back to that over and over. And this would be a good way to kind of upgrade. But then after you're done with that quarter or that time, you would take that branch out unless you want to keep it for permanent display. But what does your classroom look like? I've been in some classrooms that are absolutely fantastically decorated. I have been in some that have so much clutter, and they got curriculum and stuff stacked in the corners from the last 20 years, and just really take some time to upgrade that. The last one here before I got to go is make sure that you upgrade your personal tools that you particular need if you are a speaker. Now, there are a lot of different things. Probably you don't need a microphone in a Sunday school class. But if you have a little microphone stand, get one that doesn't keep falling over. If you use a little teacher's podium type of a pedestal thing, find one that works for you. And if it doesn't work, see what you can do to save up and get a better one. I like just simply using a music stand, works pretty good. But I like a couple music stands because one is for the things I'm teaching, and then the other is for some things that I'm going to like reach over and grab something and bring it back. So I like a couple different places where I can set some things. The higher tables, the bistro style tables work really well. Also, another tool that's very important, and if you're teaching in a Sunday school, you need to have a clock somewhere that you can see it, in the back wall. Get yourself a nice clock. We have some atomic clocks where they're all, synchronized. It works pretty good. So get a clock. Another good thing is a timer, where a lot of people use their phone and they put it on the thing. And like if you have 20 minutes to teach a lesson, or if you're going to do 10 minutes where you're going to teach and then go into other things, you got your phone there with a great big old 10-minute countdown timer moving along so that you kind of know to keep your story or your memory verse or your song time, whatever it is, kind of moving. So you can upgrade yourself. I like stopwatches. I use those for a variety of different things. It's like, hey, we're going to give you 2 minutes to write the verse on the board. Everybody grab a marker. Let's go over the board. And I want you to write this word, and you write this word, and you write this word. And the kids write the different words. And then we draw lines to which one is the order. And then we say the verse in order. It's just kind of a fun way to do a verse and to get kids engaged at the same time. So We believe it is time. And for you, I have this question: is it time? Or is it time for you to step things up? Okay, to move your Sunday school up a notch. If so, some of these things obviously would take a little bit of budget. Some of these are just you being prepared ahead of time. And there's a principle that we learned long ago called work on it and not in it. And that means that some of the best things that happen are when you're not in the classroom, but you're not in the Sunday school mode. You're actually not actually teaching it, but you are stepping away. You come in on a Tuesday night, you come in on a Saturday morning, and you take your class and really kind of get everything ready. So Sunday morning, you are ready to change some lives. Remember, you don't teach for 30 minutes, you teach for 30 years. You teach through the life of that child to the next generation, and a good, well prepared, upgraded classroom will help get you there. So anyway, if this has been helpful, go ahead right now and hit the like button. We appreciate it. If you're new here on YouTube, you can hit the subscribe button. We would love to have you do this, or you can share this in a variety of ways to your other fellow Sunday school teachers, and we appreciate you taking time to do that. So this is Mike, and I am in Wyoming, and I am signing out. You have yourself a great Lord's Day. Make sure that you serve the Lord with gladness, enter to his gates with thanksgiving, and give your Sunday school all you got. And God bless, and have a great Lord's Day. We'll see you next time.